In the heart of the quaint little town of Ravensbrook stood an old Victorian mansion, once belonging to a reclusive artist named Edgar Calloway. Rumors spread like wildfire through the town about the mysterious disappearance of Calloway and the eerie paintings that adorned the walls of his home. Among the locals, one particular painting sent shivers down their spines: The Lost Soul. The canvas depicted a hauntingly beautiful woman, her porcelain face itched with a sorrowful expression. Her eyes seemed to follow anyone who dared to look at her. Whispers of the painting being cursed circulated, and it was said that those who stared into the eyes of the lost soul would soon meet a tragic fate. Over the years, the mansion fell into disrepair, and nobody dared to step foot inside. Until one fateful evening, a group of curious teenagers decided to venture into the haunted abode. Among them was Grace, a daring and adventurous girl who scoffed at the idea of curses and believed the tales were merely superstitious. As they entered the mansion, the scent of dust and decay filled the air. Cobwebs draped across every corner, and the floorboards creaked beneath their weight. The group's flashlight beams danced erratically along the walls, and the lost soul painting seemed to beckon them closer. Despite the chilling atmosphere, Grace couldn't take her eyes off the painting. It was as if an invisible force held her in its grasp, drawing her toward the artwork. Her friends warned her to stay away, but she laughed off their concerns, eager to prove that there was nothing to fear. The night wore on, and the group decided to leave the mansion, feeling uneasy about the strange energy that seemed to engulf the place. As they made their way to the exit, Grace felt a strange sensation, like icy fingers tracing her spine. She shook it off, attributing to her imagination. Days passed, and the unsettling feeling persisted. Grace started having vivid nightmares, each one featuring the lost soul painting. The sorrowful woman in the portrait seemed to come alive in her dreams, pleading for help, her eyes filled with anguish. As time went on, Grace's friends grew concerned about her well-being. She became increasingly obsessed with the painting, returning to the mansion day after day, desperate to uncover its secrets. She spent hours researching the artist Edgar Calloway, hoping to find clues about the painting's origin. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Grace found an old journal belonging to Calloway hidden beneath a pile of dust-covered canvases. The journal revealed a tale of heartbreak and tragedy. The lost soul, it seemed, was a representation of Calloway's lost love, Isabella, who died tragically in a fire. Reading the journal seemed to deepen the connection between Grace and the painting. The boundary between reality and the supernatural blurred, and she became increasingly entangled in the world of the lost soul. One stormy night, as lightning illuminated the sky, Grace sat before the painting, lost in its depths. The eyes of the lost soul glowed, and a cold gust of wind swept through the room. In that moment, the line between the painting and the reality vanished entirely. Grace found herself inside the canvas, standing amidst the desolate landscape depicted in the artwork. She could feel the anguish and sorrow that surrounded her, and the face of the lost soul became her own reflection. As the storm raged on, Grace felt a profound understanding of Calloway's pain and Isabella's tragedy. The curse that had befallen the painting was not one of malevolence, but of a longing soul seeking solace and closure. With newfound determination, Grace promised to free the lost soul from her torment. Guided by the love and compassion in her heart, she found a way to reunite the spirits of Calloway and Isabella, bringing them both the peace they so desperately sought. From that day on, the mansion of Edgar Calloway was no longer haunted by dark forces. Instead, it became a place of beauty and love as the lost soul painting transformed into a symbol of hope and redemption. As for Grace, she returned to Ravensbrook as a changed person, forever carrying the memory of her extraordinary journey within the haunted canvas painting. And whenever the townsfolk would recount the legend of the lost soul, they would do so with a newfound appreciation for the power of love and the enduring legacy of a hauntingly beautiful work of art. Hope you enjoyed this story. Please like and subscribe to this channel, which will motivate me in making more of such stories. Thank you.